I was in Cambodia. I went to Phnom Penh, which was the capital that they evacuated for 2 years when Pol Pot killed and shat all over everyone, as he does, because he's such a great guy.
Oh,
Um,
that's just rumor and speculation.
that's right. It's only 3 million deaths versus the unknown number for World War II for the Jewish people. The hotel, all I said to the guy, I said, I want a hotel that's clean, right? That has a clean bathroom, right? He's like, oh, yeah, no problem. So it drops me at this joint. I get there, I'm fucking tired. I've been to the killing fields and the torture school and all that shit and seen some very depressing things like human skulls at close range. And I'm tired as fuck. And I get in there and I walk into the bathroom and I shit you not, I've got socks on, right? And there's water all over the floor, right?
Oh, fuck.
And the water is coming from the toilet, right? And I'm in great need of using the toilet. So I'm like,
Oh,
so
man.
I'm like, I'll flush it. This water will go down, right? So I use the toilet, go to flush it. It's a press down handle thing. Flush it, handle falls off, right? I'm
Ah!
like, holy fuck. And my feet are totally wet by this stage. Walk back to the basin, go to wash my hands. The tap and the handle just spin round and round. Nothing goes on, right? So I just threw all my towels on the floor to soak up this fucking water. I wasn't game to use the toilet for the rest of the night, and I just lay there and went to sleep. And then in the morning went to Sam Reap. But yeah, so that was good.
Damn, talk about, holidays in the sun. Doesn't sound
But
like
if
a
you
shiny experience to me.
Nah, but if you go there, went up to Sam Reap, stayed at this hotel there, $25 a night. That's American, Australian, same thing. Would be the equivalent of about a 5 star, 24-hour sort of restaurant.
Or
Met some
the,
fantastic people. It was
yeah,
great.
also the 3 hour joint that they have here in town where, you can get your groove on for 3 hours for $25.
Fantastic. The, the weirdest thing though was I went to in Vietnam because it's a renowned sort of child porn whatever thing. Stayed at this place which was called My Hometown or some bullshit. I think it was named after a Bruce Springsteen song. But so I'm going up the stairs, up about 80 flights of stairs. I'm totally fucked off. The guy there, oh, you want girl? No. Oh, you want girl? No. Oh, so you don't want girl. And the girl he's referring to is not an 18-year-old girl. He's referring to a very young girl. And that really fucked me off. And they're supposed to be doing shit about it over there, and they're not.
Yeah.
And then I get on these things. They have motorbikes with trailers, and you ride around. And the guy, he was a nice guy that I was talking to, but then he goes, "Oh, you want naked boy?" I'm like, "No, why? What is he playing a game or something?" And then so I drive around. "Oh, you sure you don't?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "I got a girlfriend." "Oh, yeah, okay." But I mean, they claim to be doing shit about it, and when it comes down to it, Gary Glitter was convicted over in either Vietnam or Cambodia.
So it's kind of an
And
underground thing, but not too underground. I mean, they're openly flaunting it to tourists.
yeah, it's just pathetic. It's not something that, like, it may appeal to some people, it doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't appeal to normal people. And
No,
I'm sure they get travellers over there that ask for that. But just because they ask for that, I mean, you might get travellers in Australia that want to rape a priest or something, but your brain would just sort of click over and go, oh, perhaps that's not the right thing to do. But with these people, it just doesn't. And it didn't
wow.
happen in Sam Reap. Sam Reap is where all the temples and shit are, and they're nicer people. But in Phnom Penh, it was fucking insane. Everyone just wants to rip you off and shit.
Yeah.
Someone someone stole me money the first night I was in Vietnam out of my wallet.
Oh my god.
And yeah, I just said to him, I said, because I was totally fucked off at this stage, because he told me he was going to ride me back to the hotel room. And he's like, "Oh, you just have to buy me a beer," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay then." So in the end, I bought him 4 beers, and they taste like shit anyway. They're those Anchor things. They taste like someone pissed in a bottle, basically. And after a while, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm a bit buggered. Can I go back to my hotel?" And then when I get there, he goes, "Oh, you owe me money for fuel." And I'm like, "Oh, hang on, mate. I've already bought you 4 beers." And then he's like, "No, you got to give me money." So I just took it all out of my wallet, and then I grabbed it off him, and I said, "That's my fucking money," and I put it back in my wallet. And then, as I'm walking off, he'll go, "Oh, any amount will do," and I'm like, "Yeah, fuck off." It was like it's nearly the Vietnam War just all over again.
Damn.
But yeah, it didn't bother me too much because he was smaller than me, as most Asians are. That's not racist. It's just true.
Well, yeah. Well, you
But
know,
yeah, it didn't really make me day, I can tell you, because I was fucked off already because I'd gotten lost. But
well, that's why they look up to us Americans, because the penis is very, very small. So small.
yeah, just some very angry people there, and especially in Vietnam. In Cambodia, they sort of don't like Americans much, but they think Australians are okay, except we oversaw the same thing as Americans, so perhaps we're just as guilty as everyone else. But in Vietnam, they're just still on about the fucking war,
Right.
and it's a whole industry. And the War Museum, you walk in there, this is what cunty Americans did. Look how cunty Americans are, and it's like, yeah, we didn't do shit for the whole war. We just like America just shat all over us. That's all that happened in the whole war, and that's just not the case.
No.
And I'm not a supporter of what happened in Vietnam, but I'm sure atrocities occurred on both sides, and just they display one side. And war is a huge industry over there anyway, and I know because I bought all their caps and their shirts and shit. But just seem to be people that are living in the past, really.
Right. And, you
Bit, li-
know,
bit, bit
people,
like those funny long-haired people that run Hollywood.
yeah, but it's funny that they say, you know, those who forget the past who are condemned to repeat it.
Oh,
So,
true. But
so
there's a difference between forgetting the past and fucking rubbing it in someone's face.
well, they haven't
Like,
forgotten.
yeah, I go into a war museum and it's like, oh, look what the cunty white people did, and I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, I'm a cunty white person.
Well,
It's like,
look how many troops were told you're going there on a police action, nothing else. You know, it's just strictly, you know, keeping things in line, and they wind up, you know, in a war, a massive war.
true. But you look at what happened in Libya, right? They had a civil war, right? And all these people decided to get involved, including Sarkozy, who got voted out, David Cameron, who's a fucking total tool, and based on a bit of speculation of what happened. And then you've got, so they overthrow, can't even think of his name, whatever his fucking name is. What was his name again? The
Um,
Libya dude. They stuck a knife up his
Gaddafi.
ass. Yeah, Gaddafi.
Yeah, I only know it because I did this thing years ago called the Liberation of Libya.
Yeah, but basically what you had over there was people, and I'm not being pro-Libyan here, but you had people that didn't even have to work that would get paid serious amounts of money once they turned 18. So effectively it was like unemployment benefit on crack. And so they did nothing at
Weird.
all and they still got paid. And then something allegedly happened, and then your Sarkozy's, who got paid a shitload of money by Gaddafi, which he won't admit to, goes, oh yeah, let's bomb him, because war normally means popularity. But in the case of Julia Gillard, Sarkozy, Cameron, it doesn't mean popularity, and they're all going to get voted out anyway. And yet you have what's happening in Syria, where troops can go into a whole city and slaughter everyone inside, including women and children. And then they're like, then you get fucking, what's her name? Hillary Clinton on there, and she's like, oh, yeah, we don't have enough evidence as to what happened yet. No, you've got kids with their heads cut off. Like, enough has happened in Syria for them to at least administer a no-fly zone, which is what they allegedly did in Libya, which they didn't. They interrupted a civil war. And
well, you know, our country is miraculously blind to some things.
Yeah, but in America, if you yourself took up arms against the government, they would respond, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. In fact, what they have in place right now is scary fucking shit. You know,
Yeah.
in the last 8 months, we've had the right to due process taken away.
Yeah, basically over there because of your 9/11 and shit.
Oh, no, it's much more than that. There's more shit going on. But
yeah, no, I mean, with the terrorist stuff, you can get a person without having charged him, just detain him, which is exactly what they did in Australia to an Indian guy.
Yeah, but they could grab me based on my opinions voiced on a social website and say I'm a potential terrorist.
That's right.
And
so
hold me indefinitely.
That's right. So both me and you will be in Guantanamo Bay in about cell 12B in about a month's time.
It's like I posted on Facebook. 1984 was not supposed to be an instructional manual.
No, but I mean, you look at CCTV, you've got London, got more cameras than any other city in the world.
Oh,
that's why they can post all this shit.
Everywhere here in the U.S., we got cameras. We got cameras out the wazoo. And you know what's amazing about 9/11? And I don't even want to go off on this topic, but I'm going to take a tangent here. You know how we have all the footage of the Twin Towers being demolished, and you know there's the footage of the remains of the aircraft that crashed that was meant for the White House. But what about the Pentagon?
Yeah.
And all of the establishments within like a 10-mile radius that had a camera pointed near that direction within 20 minutes of 9/11 happening had their videotapes seized.
Yeah, and then you get one video released that shows nothing at all except an explosion.
And everybody that seen it happen said, I didn't see a plane, I saw a rocket.
Yeah, I didn't see a plane either.
I didn't either, and I didn't see a wingspan.
No, but the funny thing when you're talking about 9/11, like I'm into all this stuff, and I'm a person that believes planes crashed into the 2 World Trade Center towers, which I think is fairly obvious.
Oh, yeah. I watched the second one happen. I watched it.
Yeah, so did I. Where me and my brother were watching soccer or something, and they crossed across, and you saw the second plane smash into the tower. But the thing is, you've got all these knobs on there, right? There's a video called September Clues, and they claim that there were no planes that crashed into the World Trade Center, right?
That's why they're called knobs.
Yeah, if they're arguing there are no planes that crashed into the Pentagon, I'd be agreeing with them because they didn't find enough debris at the Pentagon for that to be a plane, or bodies for that matter, right?
Well, I will almost agree with the debris because, like I said, you don't see a wingspan going into that building.
Nah. And the shot you always see is after that hole collapsed. That was a hole that collapsed. People died. It's not good. But that is the most photographed, surveilled area in the whole of America right there. And all you've got is one video which can't even film in a video sequence. It just films like
shots.
Click, click, click. And that is bullshit.
Right. And you know why? Because there's a fucking cover-up.
Yeah. And I'm not... just the like your Alex Jones and shit. If you listen to Alex Jones all the time, all you do is go home, Kurt Cobain style, get in your garage and shoot your face off. Because Alex Jones is seriously deluded. And I like some ideas. I like the ideas of conspiracy theories, right? Like we didn't go to the moon. Someone else killed Kennedy, right? Legitimate things, right?
Well, we
Things that they
all
could.
know that Marilyn knew what was coming, and so she paid off an up and coming star at that time named Elvis Presley to actually do the hit job, and that Lee Harvey was just the fall guy.
I was speaking to Elvis the other day, and he denies everything that you've just said. He said that his gun had blanks in it. That's what he told me. And I
Yeah,
think that's what his girlfriend said too, but I'm not sure what that was about.
yeah.
But no, this no planes thing, it's just an absolute insult to everyone, including first responders that died at 9/11. That is just an insult.
Or
Like,
those of us who actually watched it happen as it was happening. Because
yeah,
I remember my neighbor, I was asleep. My neighbor called me and woke me up and said, "Turn on your TV. A plane just crashed into the World Trade Center." And I was like, "No way." Turn on the TV, and I'm on the phone with him, and I was watching the tower burning whenever I seen the other plane coming in the far distance. Now, a far distance is not a fucking hologram. Okay? I know what a fucking hologram is, and it doesn't start in a far distance. I seen that fucker come from a far distance, come around and turn and smash. I dropped the phone and I went, "This is no accident."
I watched it, I reckon, the actual thing live for about 12 hours straight. And to me, it's one of the defining moments in the history of the world. But the, just to say no planes hit there, well, that would explain why there's a full plane imprint in the building.
Right.
Like,
But I will say this, the way that those towers came down, that was no accident.
yeah, well, to me, that's always been the point because you've got a week beforehand, you've got fully laden planes could crash into this building and it wouldn't fucking matter. It'd be like a fly hitting a fucking fly screen, rah rah
But the
bullshit.
thing is, a building that size would topple over normally.
We,
However, implosion experts have verified that the way the World Trade Center came down, and actually, if you go on YouTube and look up Larry Silverstein, the owner of the Twin Towers, he actually
yeah,
has a 17-second excerpt where he says, you know, there's already been so much loss of life, I just told him, go ahead and pull it.
yeah, that was to WTC 7.
Right.
Um,
But here's the thing. How could they have the explosives in place to implode those buildings and everything unless it was done on the inside? Because remember, the bomb sniffing dogs were taken out 2 weeks prior.
yeah, true. What gets me though is you've got, and I'm not being anti Alex Jones or anything, but you got people on YouTube and they're like, oh, it's been proven that all those jumper videos are fake. They're not fake videos. People landed
No.
on the fucking ground.
Yeah, that ain't fake. That ain't fake. That's real. No.
Yeah, exactly. But
What
then you
happened
get,
on 9/11 is real. It's who was actually behind it,
yeah.
you
But
know.
I mean, if you go into who funded it and stuff like that, the answer is Pakistan, and it has been for a long time. But they left that out of the thing. You've got those other weirdo Arabs, because all Arabs are weirdos, that were jumping up and down celebrating. But that story's been sort of rubbed out of the media. And the people that actually profited the most were Swedish or something, apparently. But
Oh, you
I
got
find
the
it hard.
Saudis too.
Yeah,
Which
Well, those,
how many of the hijackers were Saudis? You know
yeah, and how many of their passports survive going through flaming aeroplanes when
exactly.
the passports are made of paper? My passport would not survive if I fucking pissed on it. And I do that occasionally. It's just a personal thing.
You piss on your passport.
Yeah, occasionally.
Is that like a watermark test?
Yeah, it's sort of like a voodoo curse that
Oh,
I've.
I'm gonna have to try that, but I'll do it after midnight because we all know that the half hour before midnight is for good and the half hour after midnight is for evil.